Jujutsu Kaisen is known for its insane range of curse techniques and of course all of the crazy domain expansions. Now in the first ever Jujutsu Kaisen console game, JJK Cursed Clash, we're finally able to bring this power into our own hands. Now out of the starting roster of characters in the game, it looks like we have a handful of characters that have access to domain expansions, so you already know this is about to be lit. Now in the DLC, we're likely to get even more characters and unique domain expansions.
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my lord, they are absolute freak booty.
But to kick things off, let's take a look at and rank the top domain expansions in JJK Cursed Clash. Now I've got some exclusive gameplay included in this video that you don't want to miss, so be sure to stay tuned till the end.
W's in the shot. W's in the shot.
Now before we get into it, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to smash that like button. Lets me know you're rocking with the video and helps it get out to more people like you. Also, be sure to stay in the loop with all things Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash by hitting that subscribe button.
Perfect.
Now with that being said, let's get back to it. What's poppin', guys? It's different JJK reviews with some different Jujutsu Kaisen reviews. And today, let's jump into the top domain expansions in Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash. To kick things off, in 5th place, we got Megami.
Oh shit, where's Megami?
It's not hard to find me. It's not hard. If someone wanted to find me, they would have been found me.
Megami Fushiguro is related to Maki Zenin, and he has an inherited curse technique that has been passed down for generations within the Zenin clan. But with that being said, both Megami and Maki could care less about their ties to the Zenin family.
Fuck the Zenin clan, we share the same blood, but we are not fam.
Megami has the 10 Shadows curse technique. This gives him access to up to 10 Shikigami, which he can control and use in battle. Now, players likely won't be able to access all 10 of the Shikigami in this game because Megami hasn't actually tamed all of them to this point in the series. Now, it would be crazy though if players could use the most powerful Shikigami of the 10 Shadows technique, the mahoraga. Mahoraga is practically a god, and it can adapt to all phenomenon. Now, if summoning mahoraga is possible, I believe this would be accessible primarily through Megami's Awakened mode as a crazy and clutch power-up. But don't let that distract you from Megami's domain expansion, the Chimera Shadow Garden. The Chimera Shadow Garden floods the surrounding area completely with black shadows. This allows Megami the ability to manifest multiple Shikigami and deal out a ton of damage. This domain expansion can be used to easily overwhelm your opponents. Now I got Megami in 5th, because out of all of the characters with a domain expansion in this game, he just ain't got that crazy curse energy levels like the rest of the characters coming up in this roster. Now his domain still goes crazy, but for these reasons, I got Megami in 5th. Next up is Jogo. Jogo uses an innate technique centered around fire and volcanic abilities, allowing him to generate intense cursed flames. He has the ability to create fire, launch heat rays from his palms, and even materialize volcanic openings in his surroundings. Jogo's a mid to long range fighter in the game, who can make use of his high mobility and variety of techniques to burn down his enemy. Jogo's domain expansion is the Coffin of the Iron Mountain. If caught in Jogo's domain, opponents get trapped within a volcano. Jogo's domain has a guaranteed hit effect, ensuring lethal damage on enemies within its range, while also giving Jogo a strong power-up. Trust me, you don't want no smoke. Now, although Jogo's curse technique delivers solid damage to opponents in the game, Jogo simply can't compete with the top 3 on this list. Jogo is powerful, but outmatched in comparison. His domain expansion, Coffin of the Iron Mountain, puts some real pressure on his opponents, rightfully earning him a spot in the top 4 domain expansions. In 3rd place, we got Mahito. Mahito's curse technique allows him to manipulate souls. He can deform bodies, change the shape of his own soul, and morph his limbs into weapons to create a wide range of attacks. Mahito's a mid-range fighter who uses a stream of attacks to reduce the enemy's strength by closing in and reducing the distance. Mahito's domain expansion is the self-embodiment of perfection. This domain creates a pitch-black environment that traps Mahito's target within his grasp, leaving them vulnerable to Mahito's soul manipulation ability. This domain heavily damages the opponent, increases Mahito's damage output, and weakens the opponent's defense. The self-embodiment of perfection is an almost guaranteed victory, so unless you're Gojo or Sukuna, do yourself a favor and don't get caught lacking. In the number 2 spot, we have Gojo.
Are you the one who left it all behind because you're stand proud?
Gojo's limitless technique gives him precise control over space, using cursed energy at an atomic level. This leads to Gojo having unique, powerful abilities. Infinity, a variation of Gojo's Limitless, is often misunderstood as a barrier that stops all things, but its true power lies in that it infinitely slows down all threats before they can even touch Gojo. His passive ability looks like it may be his limitless barrier, So if this technique does automatically block attacks for Gojo, his passive will officially be OP as everything. Gojo's domain expansion captures his enemies with an infinite void. This floods the target's mind with boundless raw information, overwhelming them to the point where they're completely immobilized. Now, if Gojo lands his domain expansion of Unlimited Void, it's practically a guaranteed win once it ensnares its target. Gojo's techniques are definitely overpowered, but that's just on brand for him. In a domain battle against practically any character, Gojo would win. But if Cursed Clash is as true to the series as it appears to be, Gojo doesn't fully hold up to the #1 player on this list. Even if Gojo is arguably one of the strongest characters in the game, his abilities only earned him the runner-up spot on this list. And now, with the #1 ranked domain expansion, we have Sukuna, the king of curses. Sukuna possesses immense cursed energy, but his specific curse technique remains unknown. He demonstrates the ability to unleash invisible slashes using his cursed energy, called Cleave and Dismantle. We also see that Sukuna is able to use a Fire Arrow ability or curse technique. Sukuna is a wide-range melee attacker who can wreak havoc on the battlefield with his heavy and indiscriminate blows. Sukuna's domain expansion is Malevolent Shrine. Malevolent Shrine's guaranteed hit relentlessly slashes apart all enemies that are unfortunate enough to get within its range. Sakuna has an open barrier domain, so the best strategy to survive this brutal domain expansion is to run and get the hell out. Free yourself from the endless damage before it's too late. Sakuna's domain expansion is incredibly overpowered, rightfully earning him the #1 spot on this list. They don't call him the king of curses for no reason. Considering that Malevolent Shrine endlessly attacks all enemies within Sakuna's range, I wouldn't doubt that this domain expansion could sweep the whole enemy team at once if they're not careful. All of this making for Sakuna's domain expansion to tee up mad easy wins. Now let's get into some honorable mentions, starting with Hanami. Hanami is the special grade cursed spirit of nature. And her cursed technique involves manipulating nature itself. Hanami uses cursed energy to create plants that she can then control during battle. In this game, Hanami is an all-range attacker, specializing in ground attacks with a wide variety of abilities. Hanami has a domain expansion, but in the series, it was stopped short by Gojo. With that being said, in the game, we're likely to finally have access to it, and if so, Hanami's domain would likely be called the Ceremonial Sea of Light. This domain expansion should have a guaranteed hit powered by Hanami's usually hidden left arm. Another honorable mention is Yuta Okkotsu. Officially confirmed, Yuta is expected to be in the game, and he's likely to come with a range of his copied curse techniques, and will also get to fight alongside Rika. Yuta's passive ability is Rage, and when at a low health, he gets a crazy boost from Rika, who joins the battle, ready to destroy their opponents. Now I got Yuta here, because we do see that he has access to a domain expansion, but even in the manga, we have yet to see what it's actually capable of. Now this means we're unlikely to get a Yuta domain expansion in the game, but I couldn't overlook this one and not give Yuta that honorable mention. Next is Suguru Geto. Suguru Geto is the special grade cursed user with the curse technique of cursed spirit manipulation. He can land both close and medium ranged attacks due to his physical ability and cursed spirit manipulation. Now Geto doesn't have a domain expansion, but he does have a maximum technique that I had to mention. Geto's maximum technique is Uzumaki. This combines the cursed spirits that Geto has collected all into one major cursed energy blast. Uzumaki takes the form of a swirling cursed spirit that levitates behind Geto right before unleashing its powerful blast of super condensed cursed energy. Alright, now let's get into some of the potential characters that would be awesome to see in the upcoming DLC packs. First, I want to start with Hakari. Hakari is incredibly powerful, and his curse technique is primarily applied through the use of his domain expansion. Hakari's domain expansion, Idle Death Gamble, effectively manifests a slot machine game, and if he hits a jackpot, he gains unlimited cursed energy and automatic reverse curse technique, making him mad overpowered. The limitless cursed energy gained from Hakari successfully hitting the jackpot causes Hakari's body to automatically heal all injuries, making him practically unkillable in this state. It would also be great for us to see Dagon in the DLC.
Getting pretty good, kind of jacked. Once he gets some striation going in there, he'd be off the chain. You get them arms just a little bit rounder, get some peak on them biceps, he will be...
Dagon is the special grade cursed spirit of the sea. He is impressively strong and can generate massive tidal waves from his cursed energy output. Dagon's curse technique is called Disaster Tides, enabling him to create and control water. With his curse technique and his immense health, even Nanami, Maki, and Naobito were unable to exorcise him. Dagon possesses a wide variety of Shikigami sea creatures that he can summon inside of his domain. His arsenal of Shikigami includes sea serpents, swarms of piranhas, sharks, crazy large crustacean creatures, and those are just a few that are among Dagon's hardest and most powerful Shikigami. Dagon's domain is called the Horizon of the Captivating Skanda. It's a sunny, picturesque tropical island where his Shikigami are guaranteed to instantly bite their prey. In his domain, Dagon uses Death Swarm, an ability that summons an endless swarm of Shikigami ready to attack enemies within his domain. This leaves his opponents helpless as they get eaten alive. I'm also hopeful that we get to play as Kenjaku. Kenjaku's innate technique allows him to inhabit and take control over others' bodies, even if they're dead.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
He does this by transplanting his brain into the body of his target. When Kenjaku takes control of a new body, he inherits the new body's cursed technique while also maintaining his past cursed techniques. With him currently inhabiting Suguru Geto's body, he has cursed spirit manipulation, this making him all the more powerful. In addition to that, Kenjaku has cursed techniques such as the anti-gravity technique in his arsenal, a technique that originally belonged to Kaori Itadori. Kenjaku is the second most powerful barrier user in JJK, and his domain expansion takes the form of a giant pillar made up of countless souls. His domain, Womb Perfusion, is an open barrier type domain with a guaranteed hit, similar to Sukuna's Malevolent Shrine. And as a little bonus here, we can't forget about the smallpox deity.
Oh my god! What is that? Guess what, bitch? Coronavirus!
The smallpox deity is a disease-cursed spirit with a unique curse technique. First, it traps its target inside its innate domain and instantly encloses them within a coffin. After the target is caught, the curse takes its left hand and lowers it to its right hand. This motion drops a giant gravestone on top of the coffin, dealing heavy damage to the enemy and burying the coffin underground. Once the gravestone is placed, the disease curse begins to count down from 3 to 1. If the countdown reaches 1, the target is instantly infected with the smallpox curse and will soon die. Alright, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to smash that like button. Also, be sure to stay in the loop with all things Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash by hitting the subscribe button.
Perfect.
Also, let me know what characters you're most excited for and would love to see in the game. Drop that in the comments below. And right here is a video breaking down all of the characters in the game and their abilities. Be sure to check that out next, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.